Hi team, welcome to my channel. My name is Janet. Today we are doing a 10-minute workout that is focusing on improving your back strength. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have lower back and back issues because maybe they're sitting too long or maybe they're a bit tight in the body. These exercises today are designed just to strengthen the back area. All of it will be done on the ground and no equipment is required. Each move will be about 50 seconds long with a 10 seconds rest. As always, if you enjoy these types of workouts where it's focusing on certain body areas, please let me know by leaving some comments below, liking this video, and of course subscribing to my channel. Now let's find some space in the house, team, and let's get started. Alright team, we're starting on the floor today. You can be kneeling like I am, or if that doesn't suit your knees, feel free to sit with your legs out straight or cross-legged. And then we're just going to start with the back work, arms straight up. And squeezing the shoulders back, and make sure you're squeezing the shoulder blades together as the arms come down. So imagine there's like that piece of paper in between your back, and each time you're squeezing that shoulder tight and trying to squeeze that piece of paper together. So pull with some intention through the arms there. That way you start to strengthen out your back muscles, building up that mobility as well. Good. All right, coming to that first rest, just roll out the shoulders if you need to. Of course, you can keep going with that movement if you don't need rest. And then we lift the arms back up again. We're going to squeeze the shoulders together, elbows and hands meet into the center. And then we're just pushing the arms back a little bit, slightly at shoulder sort of length, or if you've got the mobility, I take my shoulders just a little bit further back. So elbows going just slightly behind where my shoulder line is, as you can see in the video. But those of you who have rotating cuff issues at that joint, you may not go as far. So just be wary of what your body is telling you there. Keeping it nice and safe. But make sure the elbows are nice and high to shoulder, so you keep that tension in the arms and back. Good. Give it a little roll out. Alright, we get to lie on the ground, that bit's nice. And then the arms and legs are extended. We're going to do a alternating swim. So which means when the leg is lifted on the right, the arm is lifting on the left. Squeezing through the glutes as you're lifting through the leg. So notice that my leg doesn't have to go too high, nor does my arm. But it is just slightly off the ground so your thighs are coming up. And then at the same time as you're squeezing through your glutes, you're pulling your belly button into the spine and you're pushing your hip bones a little bit into the mat to counteract that over bend. And then you're trying to lift the arm up near the ears so that your ears are covered each time the arms is lifting. Of course, if you've got back issues and you're just starting on out this journey, you take the range a little bit lower. Good. Have a little loosening out of the hips. We're going to just focusing on the upper back now. So arms are going to lift off the ground and then extend and drop. So your arms are holding to two little goal posts, or cactus arms as I like to say. You lift the arms, you press it out. Again, your arms are diagonally going upwards towards where the height of your ears are, is where your extension is going. Again, if you've got back issues or you're just starting out, you may choose to do one arm at a time and keeping the other arm down on the ground, or you don't lift as high. So lots of options to consider as you're trying to build up that muscle and back strength over time. So be patient with yourself. You know there's going to be a few rounds of doing this for a couple of weeks or more before it starts to get comfortable. All right, just pull back, have a little stretch there. This is to work on your core, which also protects your lower back. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees lifted, and you're tapping one foot back and in, back and in. All right, so this is quite a strong movement for your core strength. Fingertips are nice and loose. Bottom palm of my palms are pressing in. Anytime you need to stop and shake out the wrists, feel free. Or if you find your wrist gets a little bit sore here, roll up your mat, put a little bit more cushioning underneath your hands. Maybe like a rolled up towel. Some of you might have fancy cushions that people use underneath their knees. You can also use underneath your wrists. I don't mean actual cushion like you would lie on the couch, but there's like joint cushions that you can use that helps. Good. All right, shake out the wrist if you need to. We're coming back on the ground. That was just to give your lying down position a bit of rest. Now we're going to focus in on that lower part of the body, lower back and glutes. So lift the legs up and extend out to a V shape, wide, come back in and drop it down. So the two areas that will help strengthen your back or protect it is a strong glutes, strong core. When those two areas get stronger, generally you find your posture is nicer and your lower back gets a little bit more protected because not all the weight is going straight into your lower back. You can borrow muscles from those two areas from the front and the back to help keep your back nice and healthy over time. So exhale on the lift, inhale when you drop down. Good. Have a little moment here, shuffle out the hips if you need to. All right, we're swimming. Arms are extended. First start with the legs. Don't worry about lifting the arms as yet if you don't want. So legs kicking. So see how I've just kept my hands on the ground? That is one option. And then the level 2 is to lift the arms up so they cover your ears, going on a diagonal. And the arms are just floating and your thighs are off the ground. Think about extending out through the legs. Think about nice, long, lean legs. And then kick. And squeeze. And float. Like you're doing kickboards, really in the water, and you're floating your arms on a kickboard just in front of you. Good. Keep nice and fast there. And take a moment, pull back if you need to into that child's pose a little bit. Otherwise, you're just going to roll onto the back. Let's work a bit more on your core stability to pick up your lower back protection. All right, so we're going to curl up and then legs go out. 1, 2, 3, and drop. 1, 2, and drop. Not 3. My bad. 1, 2, and then drop it in. Chin tucks in. Tummy muscles pull into the spine. So you try to reduce that little bit of bulge. Some of you have a little bit of dome, which I have as well. But you're trying to pull it as low down into the belly button as you can. So you work your deep core and that deep core. So imagine pulling your belly button in towards your spine. And that deep core is like a corset around the middle section of your body to protect front and back. Good, have a moment. Hence why we do core work when you're trying to strengthen your back at the same time. And also glute work. All right, we're coming into bridges. Roll up, open the knees, come back in and drop. Arms up in the air, if you can. Of course, if you feel a little bit rocky in the body, bring the hands down. So notice when I lift my hips up, they are on a diagonal line up to my knees. So it's not too low so that there's like a little dip in the center. You have to push it up high enough so that if you've got a ruler from your hip to the knee, it's on a diagonal straight line without a little sort of dint in the middle, I would say, or a little valley in the middle. Almost there, team. 10 minutes is nice and quick. We've only got one more exercise to go for this back series, and then we'll just do a quick little stretch of the lower back and upper back. Good. All right, last little bit of core and stabilizer work. So arms up in the air, legs in tabletop, bring the arms down, extend the legs, bend it back in and release. Exhale, come up, extend, Inhale as you drop down. Exhale. All right, so the aim here is to try to keep your lower back completely flat into your mat without any of an arch and a curl, because that will sort of train up your lower back to protect yourself by curling the pelvis and tucking the tailbone under, and keep everything pulled downwards towards the ground. Like you've got heavy gravity pulling that lower back so it's flattened. Maybe like a little magnet underneath your lower back, and it's in suction to your mat. All right, just let that knee swing to side a little bit, or just holding it a little bit slower, dropping one side of the body to the other. And then we're dropping it to the right side, top leg a little bit more extended. Make sure your head is looking in the opposite direction of where the legs are bent, because that gives your spine a bit of a twist. If you do have lower back niggles, I suggest maybe stay in these spots a little bit longer than I'm doing now. You can always spend some extra time stretching. Good. Roll it over onto the hands and knees. And then just for your cat-cow. So take a deep breath in, lower your belly. Exhale, tuck your chin in and round out your back, just to bring up that whole spine mobility. Being able to drop it with a curve in your lower back a little bit further, eye gaze up. And then exhale, you pushing your upper back nice and high. And then pull it all the way back with your bum sinking towards the heels, arm extended, forehead to the ground. Just releasing out that lower back bend. Slowly coming up, and you're done. Thank you so much for joining me for your 10-minute back strengthening. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.